Weirdos, I'm Felicia and I like scary movies, and today we are doing a horror movie review. I haven't done a review in a while, or what feels like a while. Time is very strange these days. When was the last time I did a review? Okay, my channel says 1 week ago. I guess that's true. It feels so much longer. It must have been more like 2 weeks ago. I don't really know. Time is so weird right now. So today we're going to be talking about One Bedroom. This movie came out at the end of April. It was written and directed by David Marmor and seems to be his feature-length debut. Congratulations, David. But the plot is, of course, the classic girl from somewhere other than LA moves to LA to follow her dreams and things go poorly. So when the movie started off, I was a little like, oh no, I feel like I've seen this movie 100 times. It kind of has that starry eyes feeling of like a pretty plain Jane main character. In this movie, her name is Sarah. She's played by Nicole Bryden Bloom, and she goes to LA with a small personality and big dreams. And you're just like, okay, like what's gonna happen? Is this gonna be boring? And then she goes and she rents this apartment in this complex that is this very LA complex. I see it in things like You Season 2, which is a great show. Also in Starry Eyes. I don't know, just these LA complexes where it's sort of like all the rooms are surrounding a courtyard where people can hang out. This is not a thing in New York, just so you know. I live in New York. This concept of courtyard living is very foreign to me, but apparently it's a thing. It looks very nice. So she shows up at this place, she rents the apartment, and everyone that lives there just seems to be like blissfully happy, like things are just so nice, everything's so good, we're such a community here, we're like real neighbors. And pretty much whenever you hear something like that in movies that take place in LA or New York, you know something's wrong, because those are the notorious like loneliest cities in America where nobody really knows their neighbors. It's just not really a thing, except for maybe special places and in horror movies. And so all this is going on, I'm worried I'm about to be really bored. And then they somehow kind of hook me. And from about maybe 30 minutes into the end of the movie, I was like genuinely into it. And they did a few things that I thought were quite unique to films about cult-like environments. And they even kind of sold me on our main character of Sarah. Like Sarah, okay, like Sarah is the most like average name. No offense if your name's Sarah. And they did make her a costume designer instead of an actress, which was a little bit better, I guess. But throughout the movie, they really kind of like sold me on why they made her like this. Because for cults are typically looking for people that are looking for a family or a home. They are missing something in their lives, and the cult can kind of fill that hole in a manipulative way. They're looking for people that are vulnerable, that don't have strong family ties, that maybe don't have very strong opinions. And this girl really checks all of those boxes. So even though I was kind of like bored playing Jane with her, it's sort of like a journey for her of how to find her own strength within herself, which she doesn't start the movie off with. You even see this character like at her day job, and her boss is like very easily pushing her around. Like she can't say no to people. Any small rebellions she does with like very timid, terrified look on her face. And so for us as an audience to sort of buy into the idea that this girl is going to kind of easily fall into this cult, they kind of had to make her a little more boring, which I know sounds not good, but it ended up working for me in this weird way. So I guess what I'm trying to say by that big ramble is that I end up liking the main character of Sarah, and I appreciated the journey that she went on. The next thing I thought was interesting was sort of the like ideals this cult is based on, and how like anti-Hollywood it is, even though it's based in Hollywood. So we have this group of people that are talking about selflessness. Like that's the number one thing in their cult, is like you cannot be selfish. And even the idea to them of moving to LA to become successful is selfish. Like that idea in itself, like you should give up your dreams to be part of a community, to give to others. If you're doing things for yourself, that's bad. That's like sort of what the idea of this cult is. And I think it's interesting to have those ideas in a cult based in LA. It's kind of a fun little thing. All right, I feel like I've already let some spoilers slip, so I'm probably gonna need to like put spoilers in the title of this video. But the next couple things are definitely spoilers. I want to talk a bit about what makes this sort of a unique cult film. One is that it is a self-sustaining cult. So we sort of find out that the leader of the cult had died like 30 years before this, and they have continued on. And I find that cool because so when Sarah ends up killing the leader, who she believes to be the leader of this cult, and she finds out that the actual leader died 30 years ago, she's like, hey, the bad guy's dead, we can all go now. And she realizes that this cult is so well established, and everyone in it, almost everyone in it, is so brainwashed and so within it that like people don't want to leave. And so even if leaders die, the cult continues on. And I found that very unique because typically with a lot of cults, and feel free to throw your corrections down below, but with a lot of cults, they live and die by the leader. They are born with the leader, and when the leader is out, the cult tends to die away. Because that's sort of what's holding them together is the ideals and the manipulation of one person a lot of times, or one small group of people. And with this, it's not like that. It's like, yes, they are relying on the teachings of one man, but they are self-sustaining and they continue on without him. And then another fun thing is that we watch this character of Sarah get brainwashed, and at a certain point decide that she wants to be a part of this. And even though it's like they're definitely threatening her, it's definitely like you have to be in the cult or like something bad's gonna happen to you, but at the same time she is like reading the teachings and she gets kind of sucked into it. And by the end of the movie, she is embraced this lifestyle and she thinks it's the right way and she thinks she's doing the right things. And she's like convinced this is the way to live now. And it takes a very strong female character that comes in at the end to snap her out of it and be like, no, honey, call your dad, you're in a cult. And if you don't listen to My Favorite Murder, you might not get that quote, but I think we can all understand that quote. And for negatives, I don't know. This is what I'll say. This movie feels like the love child of Starry Eyes, Rosemary's Baby, and The Invitation. It has a lot of elements of those three movies, and I don't think it does any of those things better than those movies did. I think it's a little more lackluster than those films, but it does have some unique things about it that I think it makes it worth watching. So I will link the Amazon link down below for you if you guys are interested in checking it out. But I think that's it for now. It's Friday night. I'm gonna hop back in and keep watching some Joe Bob. If you guys watched The Last Drive-In. Oh, random. I started a new Instagram account called Girly Gore Horror that is just for spooky stuff, because sometimes I was like, on my personal account, I have a lot of friends in my normal life that I know aren't super interested in horror movies or my channel, and I was like, I don't want to like spam them, but like I want to spam like all my other horror friends and be like, look at this movie I'm watching, look at this thing I'm looking at, look at this spooky thing. And so I just wanted a place to sort of be able to do that freely, and now I have one. So follow me if you wanna, but I think that's it. I will see you all in the next video, and have a nice scream. Bye.